Hello, and welcome to the 4th edition of Kalika Answers Questions. I did promise that I was going to wear either a corset or a bikini, and there were an even amount of votes for both, so I went ahead and threw my own in there, and I am wearing a corset. Yay! These are actually because it was going to be like a Harley Quinn thing, once upon a time. Though I haven't worn this corset in a very long time, so it's actually very tight. I was going to adjust it, but decided that I wanted to leave it because I want to be that size again, so I kind of figured I'd just leave it as a goal. Alright. Smith Jason asks, what tattoos are you planning on getting? I really want to get the Assassin's Creed symbol. I was going to get it like right here, but I keep like moving it around, so I haven't decided yet. The one I want to get next actually is there's these cave paintings in Lascaux, and they're supposed to be like the first known paintings or art in the world. And I want to get one of the characters. It's a bird, kind of like right here. It's very simple, very sketchy drawing, but I love art history, so I really wanted to get that. And I wanted to get Ganesh. I really want to get him on my calf. I want like a really beautiful, like colorful version of Ganesh on my calf. And I really want a Sailor Moon something. I can't decide if I just want to get like the moon, the simple moon, or maybe the compact would be really cute. The heart, I don't know yet, but I want a Sailor Moon something. DJ Subtract asks, imagine you're in charge of the 2015 Geek Goddess calendar, and you have unlimited resources, which means all the goddesses and every costume in the world right in your lap. What 12 cosplay themes would you use for each of the 12 months of the year? I wouldn't actually go with like a typical thing. I'm really big into history, and as much as I love like the geek stuff, I feel that it's covered like really, really well. And I'm glad that we do a lot of it anyway. So for something like a calendar, I would want to go outside the box, which we're doing this year, and you're gonna love it. I would go outside the box in a different way. I would go with a different time period in history. I was thinking like 1920s flapper and a Baroque period chick and ancient Egypt. I think that would be really, really cool to like kind of go all over the place and do just things in history. Joe Pearson asks, you said you like to hear yourself during sex. Would you consider yourself loud or foul-mouthed during orgasm? I think those are very different things, and I hope that's what we're going for. But I'm loud. Well, not always. I started having sex in my parents' house, so I learned how to be pretty quiet. But I can be pretty loud. It's mostly just the sound. It's not about like how loud it is or even what's said. Like, I think too many words are really distracting during sex, but that's just for me because I'm really a big fan of words, and I really like to pay attention to like words and what people mean by them. So if somebody says words during sex, and I'm like, I have to stop thinking about sex and start thinking about the words, and it kind of is very distracting for me. Though I admit, like, if you're, really having a good time, like, saying the F-bomb a couple of times probably makes total sense. So, describe your first threesome. My first threesome was actually my second sexual encounter ever. It was with my very good friend and her boyfriend. He was really sweet, and so was she. It was mostly with her. I didn't actually do much with him other than a little bit of kissing and some fondling. But I think I kind of leaned on the idea that it was her dick. I was not going to mess with her dick. So yeah, it was mostly making out with her, which was nice. So yeah. Okay, Smith Jason asks, have you ever been to a Renaissance fair? Yes, I have been many times, which actually I've worn this exact corset many times. I used to go to the Bay Area Renaissance Festival, BARF, in Tampa. Probably since high school, actually. I've been going for a long time. A long time. A decade or so. And, yeah. And do you have a favorite movie? I would probably say Empire Records. I hate picking like a favorite anything, so the rest of this list is going to be interesting. But I generally really enjoy Empire Records pretty much any time. I remember it really well. I can list off the lines. I can sing to all the songs, and I really enjoy that there are a lot of really good songs in it. The comedy is great, and the acting is pretty good, so yeah, that's in there, definitely. Do a favorite actor? I'm gonna go with John Hamm. I kind of picked him out of like whatever was in my head at the time. Again, I can't pick favorites very often, but I was watching 30 Rock, and he was adorable on it. I like that John Hamm is considered like this, you know, kind of almost a sex symbol for, like, he's a male sex symbol because he's just so manly. But he's also older, and he's not in any real shape. I mean, he's in good shape, but he's not, like, buff or anything. And he's got some hair. Like, he's just kind of, he just is very manly in a very classic 50s sense, and I think that's adorable. My favorite actress, I'm just going to say Anne Hathaway. I really like what she does. I think she's a really good actress, and she's been acting for a while, and I think she's really grown. But mostly because she just reminds me a lot of my sister, and that means something to me. I know that it's not obviously why she became an actress, but it means something to me. This is driving me nuts. The favorite video game console. I generally don't have one. I played on both the Xbox and the PS and PS2 and PS3, yada yada. So I'm just gonna go with DS. It's the only one that I own, and it's the only one that I actually use anymore. Yeah, I mean, I've used them, most of them, the Wii even, but yeah, DS. I'm just going to DS. Marvel or DC? Marvel. I love DC because I love Batman, and I love Mira even. I love a lot of characters from DC, but I think Marvel is definitely more my style. So I'm going to go with Marvel. Favorite book? Again, cannot pick a favorite book. So I looked at my bookshelf right over here, which has 5 books on it right now because I haven't finished moving all of them over, and I said Sex Lives of the Hollywood Goddesses. It's a wonderful book by Nigel Hawthorne, detailing in not a fictional manner, but a very conversational manner, the romantic and sex lives of some of the famous Hollywood actresses, including like Louise Brooks and Clara Bow, which are kind of idols for me. I almost listed them as the favorite actresses, but I had to say that I haven't actually seen much that they're in. I just happen to really like who they were as people. Just a little bit of like maybe a movie or 2 each. So, but I really liked them as people. Hyperion asks, which part do you like best about your body, and what do you like least? I think I have to go with the most, definitely boobs. I have been an A cup, a B cup, and a C cup, and I think right now I'm getting back down to like a large B, losing a little bit of weight, and I think they always look great. I don't care if they're an A cup or a C cup. I think that they are always fun, and they always look great, and they seem to be holding up really well. And yeah, I kind of like what they do. So yeah, I like my boobs a lot. And my least favorite, probably my thighs. They actually are, in my opinion, just a little bit bigger than they need to be for my body. It causes things like Smith Jason just got me some wonderful nylons, and they barely fit because my thighs are just, they're queenly. So it can be difficult for that reason. It also, they kind of mess with pants a lot and fit, so they can just be really difficult, which is pretty much my biggest complaint about them. They just kind of get in the way all the time. Yeah, that's why I don't like them as much. So, stranded on a lonely island, far off isle, which 5 things would you take? This is always a difficult question, and he did say assuming that your, you know, food and water, etc. are taken care of. So I said I would probably take a quilt, like this one. I love quilts. I think they're like the best thing ever, so cuddly. And I would say books, number 2, books, and or a book, I guess, depending on what I'm allowed to bring, because, you know, sunscreen, because if I'm on a far-off lonely isle, even if it's a cold one, I'm probably going to need sunscreen. Nail clippers, because jagged, ugly nails bug me. And moisturizer, because even if I've got that sunscreen, I'm probably going to get a bit dry. So, yeah. Also asks, a fairy godmother has granted 1 wish. What do you wish for? Yeah, again, a difficult question for me. I'm going to go with for there to always be a $100 bill in my pocket. That way, you know, if I get robbed, I can just hand them the $100 bill. But also, if I'm in a place and I want to get something, like, it's not, oh, well, I couldn't possibly, like, I've got this extra $100 bill in my pocket. I'm going to go ahead and get it. Yeah. If you could go to any country in the world for a week of vacation, where would you go and why? I literally want to go kind of everywhere. I'm not actually a big fan of beaches. I mean, I like them. They're fun. They're cozy. They're warm. They're enjoyable. But for the most part, I think that the beaches can be full of water, which scares the shit out of me. I actually am very, very scared of large bodies of water. And the older I get, the more scared I get, which is totally not cool. But I definitely want to visit somewhere with art, and so I decided on Italy. Italy's got so much art, of course old school art. I'm not as into contemporary art, and it's so much history and architecture, like some of the architecture, like Venice or Rome, I mean like Florence. Go see like these amazing sceneries with these gorgeous buildings and yeah, it's just fabulous. I really, really want to see those things so much, even if it was for less than a week. I desperately want to see those things. Okay. And I've actually never left the country, so that's me. If you could travel through time, which would you visit? That one changes for me a lot. It depends on what I'm into at the time. Like if I'm into ancient Egypt, obviously I would want to go to ancient Egypt. But right now I'm kind of into the 20s in Chicago, and I think that's because I'm really getting into Chicago. Like I moved here a couple of years ago, and I'm starting to really get into the city and the history and everything involved, and so I kind of got back into the 1920s. And when, yes, 1920s in Chicago, definitely would love to visit. I'm sure it's dangerous, scary, poor, and kind of disgusting, but I still would love to visit for maybe a week. And the last one is, Eris Elric asks, what's your idea of a geeky guy that you find attractive? I'm not sure if we were going for like looks or personality, but I have to say I generally don't lean on looks as much. Personality is incredibly important to me. Like I can see a guy and think, yay, he's attractive, but I don't know if I'd ever even want to talk to him. So I'm gonna go with what I find attractive in a geeky guy, which generally, if a guy is geeky, he's more attracted to me, attractive to me anyway. Yeah, so I would say like love of similar things. So like if they love comics, or at least don't make fun of comics. I was on OkCupid for a little while, which I'm not anymore. But some of the guys actually were very derisive about being comic book fans. They were like, you know, what do you like about comics, and what, you know, why would you go to conventions, and have you ever been to Comic-Con, which apparently there's only one. Yeah, so I would like similar things. I mean, they don't have to be into everything I'm into, but, you know, some things that kind of overlap a little is nice. A passion for something, anything. Anyone I've ever been with or known, basically. I make good friends with people who have a passion for something. Many of my high school friends were just really passionate about Star Wars. And that's cool with me. I'm not that big of a fan of Star Wars. I mean, I like Star Wars, but I'm not a huge fan. And, just the fact that my friends had such a huge passion for it, like, I love that. I love that people have passion for something outside of the typical, I guess. Yeah, that's kind of important to me. Even, like, a passion for writing, or a passion for art, or history like I do. I find that incredibly attractive. Just having a passion for something just makes you interesting. A sense of humor, obviously. I think you need to find me funny, because I am hilarious, but you wouldn't know that at first. And I think that I love to laugh, so I definitely want someone to be funny as well. And of course, if you're comfortable with somebody, well, at least for me, when I'm comfortable with somebody, I'm definitely more attracted to them. And don't want to get into this too deeply, but I would like him to be a feminist. I would prefer my geeky men not be sexist. So that's just kind of a personal thing, I suppose, and a little political in there, but I'm more and more a feminist each and every single day. The more I read, the more pictures I look at, the more I talk to other people. I think that it's just the only way to go. It's the only way to move forward in life, in the world. Magically, even though I had more than 10 questions this time, I managed to hit 15 minutes again, which is really exciting. So, I'm going to go ahead and say adieu, and Hyperion, I do owe you some pictures, and Smith, Jason, I'm getting you some pictures as well. So just to let you know, if you get me stuff, I get pictures. And also, if you get me books and toys, you might get more pictures. Because I am kind of a nerd. Okay, have a great day, and I'll see you next time.